Right, welcome in everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Korp. I am a full-time artist, so I colour in for a living. Best job in the world. But one of the things I do as well is I teach other people how easy it is to draw as well. So today that's what I'm going to do. I've been working with New Urban Era to teach you guys how to draw an elf today. So we're going to draw an elf. But what we're going to do with that elf is we're going to draw it in such a way that when New Urban Era, when you send your pictures to New Urban Era, they're going to animate it so that elf will start dancing as well. So try and copy as best you can, and you could get your own dancing elf projected on screen. So yeah, should we do it? The process, though, what we're going to be doing today actually is first off, we'll start with something called art drills. Now that's just a really quick warm up exercise, so it'll be nice and easy to follow. And then after art drills, which is our warm up exercise, we'll go and draw an elf together. So it'll all be step by step. So don't worry if you're not particularly artistic, it doesn't really matter. It'll all be step by step. Just follow what I do and you'll be absolutely fine. Those of you that do want to kind of go off and do your own thing, that's fine as well. There'll be plenty of opportunities for you to tweak the character, make it a little bit different, make it a little bit more personal, a little bit more yours. Okay, hope that all makes sense. Let's get started, shall we? Let me show you the materials you're going to need for today. Yeah, go for it. Let me see. Here we go. I've lowered the hand. Can feel the power. Right, let's get on with it then, shall we? Let me show you what materials you're going to need for today's session. So I like to keep it really, really simple when I'm drawing. So at the very least, you're going to need a pencil and a felt tip pen for today. The pencil we're just going to use for a couple of little guidelines when we do our main drawing, and then most of our work is going to be done with a felt tip pen. Now, if you prefer to use pencils or crayons or whatever you've got, then you feel free to use that. But I like to teach with pen, mainly because with a pencil, you always start rubbing things out. So you're always taking a backward steps. With a pen, it kind of forces you to keep moving forward. So you might make a few mistakes along the way, but you do get better faster. So, and not only that, some of the best things I've ever drawn come from when I've made a mistake as well. So don't worry about any mistakes that we make along the way, okay? Right, first thing we're going to do is art drill. So you want to grab a sheet of paper, a scrap sheet of paper. You want to have it portrait orientation. That means upright, like that. And you want to grab a felt tip. We're going to go and do this with felt tip. Now, all you're going to do is just copy me. I'll draw a line. You copy that line, okay? Now, with art drills, we're going to draw one line, the same line 4 times, and draw loads of different things with it, okay? So let's start across the top. Look, with a bouncy line. Everybody copy that if you can. A bouncy line across the top of your page. Now, when you've done that, just count how many bounces there are. If there's about 7 bounces, then that's about right. If there's more than 7, you're drawing too small. So try and draw a little bit bigger as we go along, okay? If you've got less than 7, you're probably drawing a little bit too big. So try to keep it about 6, 7, 8 bounces. That's the kind of size that we want to draw. Okay, that bouncy line, we're going to draw that one more time. This time we're going to turn it upside down and we're going to put it inside this bouncy line. So watch this. We'll start here and we'll go this way round. Look. So everybody have a little go at that. So we've got that second bouncy line in. So we've just drawn it the right way round, upside down. What we can do, you see the ends just here. Let's just close those ends off. When you close them off like that, that's how I draw like intestines and brains and things like that, or scrunched up worms. So straight away, just with those 2 lines, you've got loads of different things you can draw. Let's do a bouncy line again. Oh, Mrs. Guest, that was... What happened there? Let's try that bouncy line again. This time we're going to do the bouncy line in a circle. It's going to look a little bit like a daisy. But nice and easy, yeah? Bouncy line in a circle. Try that one out for me. It's a daisy, it's a cloud, it's a puff of smoke. It can be loads of different things. That's much better. Thank you. Back on track. Well, let's try that one last time. Bouncy line in a circle. Inside out. Let's try this one, yeah? bouncy line in a circle, inside out. And you can see all we've done there is 4 times we've drawn the same line, but we've got loads of different things. So we've got this like scrunched up worm or intestines, we've got the flower or the cloud. This one looks more like an explosion or a tear in the page, okay? How are we doing? So yeah, that does remind me. I've just seen Miss Guest's work, and I've just does remind me that it doesn't matter if you make a few mistakes along the way. You should definitely just keep on going. I'd rather you made a mess on the paper than didn't do anything at all. So let's just plough through and just go for it, okay? Okay, let's go and do our next line. So that's our bouncy line one. We're going to do our next line. Our next line I call a spring line. Now the spring line is like a never-ending lowercase e. So let's try that one. Something like that it should look like. Now don't forget, you will need about 7 loops in there. If you've got more than 7, you're drawing too small. Try and draw a little bit bigger. It's much easier to draw bigger than it is to draw small. You can get more detail in. Let's try that line again. This spring line, let's try it again upside down. Something like that. Straight away, bonus points for anybody that just turned their page upside down and just did it all again. That is absolutely fun. And the other thing is as well, somebody once explained this to me as like a tongue twister for your fingers. So it's meant to be a little bit weird, and it's meant to kind of confuse your hand-eye coordination a little bit. So don't panic if you've gone wrong on it. Right, let's try this spring line. This time we're going to go in a circle. Try this one out. And what you're concentrating on here is you want to try and have a seamless join. So where you start and finish, you want to try and join them up like that. You see it's very similar to that daisy one that we did, just the loops on the inside. Give it a go. See if you can have that seamless join. Okay, one more time. This next one is going to blow your mind. We're going to do a spring line. We're going to do it in a circle, but we're going to do it inside out. Okay, so let's have a little go at drawing this one inside out. If anybody wants to go ahead and try it, go for it. Some of you might have already done it inside out, in which case you want to try and do this one. But the inside out version looks like this. Now again, remember that seamless join is what we're after, something like that, so it all joins in together. So where you start and where you finish are all joined up quite nicely. Now don't panic if whilst you're doing this, if your brain is telling your hand to go in a circle, but your hand is going off in a straight line, don't worry about that. It happens all the time. Like I said, the whole point of this is it's art drills. We just do a little bit of scribbling on the page. If you can't think of what to draw, this is a great exercise. It only takes 5 minutes. And it just kind of trains your brain and your hand-eye coordination really, really nicely. Okay, what I want you to do now is hold up your artwork. You don't have to show me at this stage. This is fine. But I want you to hold up your drawing and just have a little look. So whilst you're holding yours up towards the rest of the class, this isn't about you showing off your artwork. This is about you having a little look at everybody else's and seeing how everybody's drawn something different. Yeah, so some people get it, some people don't, and it's no biggie. Just enjoy the process of making a few marks on a piece of paper. Okay, should we file this one away? Let's put this one away, shall we? There we go. All filed away. Get rid of it, and let's go and grab ourselves another sheet of paper, and we'll do our main drawing this time. Okay. So with that, all I want you to really get from it is just enjoy the process of drawing. Yeah, don't worry about what the end result looks like. As long as you're enjoying the drawing process, things will be absolutely fine. Now, this next bit I'm going to show you, we're going to draw an elf. It's going to be a nice easy elf to draw. A couple of pencil lines in there to guide you. So grab a pencil first. Then what we'll do is step by step we'll add some pen lines. And then by the end of the session, within about half an hour, 40 minutes, and that time will fly by, you'll have your own elf. Okay, are you ready for this then? First thing we're going to do is we're going to put a circle in the top for the head. Just needs to be circular, but not too close to the top, because we want to leave a little bit of space for a hat to be going in there as well. Okay, so now I'm going to draw quite dark. I'm going to draw quite dark so that you can see what I'm drawing, but you obviously want to draw quite light on yours so that it's nice and easy to rub out these pencil lines when you've finished your artwork. So you see that there, it's like, right, it's near the top of the page. It's on the top half of the page, but we've left a little gap for a hat. Right in the middle as well is where you want to go. Now, don't worry if your circle is more egg-shaped, or if it's a little bit wonky, don't worry about that. Just turn yours into a zombie elf and it'll be absolutely fine. Okay, one last shape with the pencil before we move into our pen. So we're going to put the body shape in. So this body shape, it's going to be like a rectangle that kind of just comes out a little bit at the bottom. Now don't go too far down because we need to leave lots of space for the legs. But let's go for something like this. So you can see the entire shape looks a little bit like a keyhole, like an old-fashioned keyhole. And that's it. That's all you need pencils for. The pencils are there just as a guideline. Yeah, that's looking awesome. Right, well done, everybody. Let's get back on. Let's get our Sharpie out or our pen out. Hopefully all you guys can be working with felt tip pens or something a little bit darker so that you can see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit now as well. And we're going to start at the top. We're going to work our way down with this character. You ready? Right, let's do it. Here we go. Let me just zoom out a little bit more there. So let's start up here. We're going to put in the head or the hat of our character. So we're going to draw a line that goes from one side of the circle all the way to the other side of the circle. The only thing to remember is to start just outside the circle and to finish just outside the circle. It's going to be near the top as well, like this. Start and finish just outside the circle. Now that bit's really important, that we have these little flappy bits just sticking outside, and that will make a lot more sense later. I'll explain why that's important later when we come to doing it, but just make sure you've got a line across the top of your head, little flap out there, little flap out there. Okay, that's our first step. Second step, let's go and put some ears in. Now for everybody else I've been doing this, I've made them draw round ears, but for today I think we should draw some like proper elf ears. So let's put a little line from about here, from starting at the pencil line, going up there. Little diagonal line just sticking out. That's going to be the top of the ear, so go as far out as you want. If you want to draw a massive ear, go all the way to the edge of the page. Then what we're going to do is we're going to drop that line down. From there, we're going to drop it down and hook back in until we hit the pencil line, okay? So drop it down, hook back in until you hit the pencil line. Once you've got that in, try and do something similar on the other side. Doesn't have to be the same, just has to be similar. So out at a diagonal, drop down, hook in. And we'll come back to those ears in a moment to finish those off. One last thing, I want us to put in a mouth. We're going to do a different mouth as well. You guys are getting all the different versions of this elf that nobody else got, okay? We're going to do a different mouth. We're going to put in a sausage shape across the bottom of this head. The sausage shape needs to touch the pencil line there. It needs to touch the pencil line there. Watch this, look. Something like that. Nice big sausage shape. That's going to be for the mouth. You can make it a little bit curvy so it curves up to make it happy. You can curve it down a little bit to make it grumpy. But just make sure it touches the edge there and it touches the edge there. Okay, everyone throwing in a sausage. Let's go and put it in. Because this mouth is so wide, it's really stretched out. So we're going to have a little fold of skin either side of the mouth. And that's going to help us when we come to drawing the outside of the head as well. So watch this. We're going to start inside the pencil line. We're going to go round the edge of the mouth there, and we're going to finish inside the pencil line here. So about there, look, round the edge. Keep on going until you finish just inside the pencil line. So you're starting just inside the pencil line, finishing just inside the pencil line. Do the same kind of thing over on the other side. I can see the concentration on faces now, which is great. Let's go. We're going to outline the rest of the head now. We've got all the important bits done. Let's outline the rest of the head. We're going to start here. From that hat, go towards the top of the ear. Then you're going to take a break from the ear, then go to the bottom of the ear and go to the mouth, okay? So there to there first, bottom of the ear to the mouth. Really important that you make sure that little flap is still sticking out just above the ear. Let's do the same on the other side. So from the bottom of the hat there into the top of the ear, and then from the bottom of the ear into the mouth. Beautiful stuff. One last line. Let's go round the chin. So we're going to start there and just follow that pencil line all the way across to there. Now you can see mine's a little bit lumpy, a little bit wonky. That's fine. We'll get away with that. Right, everybody got that in? Let's see, that's looking fantastic. Let's go and work on the hat. Let's get back to the top. So we added a little extra step in there to get the mouth in. But let's get back to the top because I want us to put that hat in now. So remember I said about these little flaps and how important those flaps are. The reason those flaps are important is because it will make the next line, it will make it look like the hat is wrapped around the head. Okay, rather than just plonking it on top, let's make it look a little bit more 3D. So that our next line is going to start on the head. We're going to go round the flap, don't touch the flap, round the flap and then flick a line up, okay? So starting on the head, round the flap, flick a line up. Try that one. Do something similar on the other side. So starting on the head, round the flap, don't touch it, and then flick up like that. And you can already see how it looks like the hat is just wrapping around the head. That's exactly what we're going to go for today. Next thing to do, let's join these two lines at the top, join them together with a big old zigzag. So let's go all the way across. Oh, something like that. Big old zigzag all the way across. Doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine. Something like that will do. Okay, right. So that's the trim of the hat. Looks like a crown. Yeah, you could just leave it as a crown if you want. That looks fantastic. You could just leave it as a crown if you want. But what we want to do is, because this is an elf, we're going to give it a proper elf hat. So a nice pointy hat across the top. But because we haven't got much space, we're going to take that hat up and go off to the side, okay? So let's do one line first. So from this side, make sure this next line kind of comes from the edge of the head here, goes diagonal, and then appears above the crown, goes to the top of the page. So like that from the edge of the head, appears above, and then goes near the top of the page. Let's continue that line all the way across the top of the page. And then when you get over here, just maybe drop it down a little bit. Across the top of the page there, just drop it down just a little tiny bit. That's going to give us space to draw a nice big bell on the end there. Okay, let's go and do the other side of the hat now. So all we're going to do is from this side of the head, take a little line that goes up and then off to the side to join up with that line. So from about there, let's go up and then off to the side to join up with that line. One last line, and then I'm going to show you, tell you about my secret tip for how to draw and make your drawings look great. Add in a little circle on the end of the hat. This is for a bobble or a bell. Now, my favourite technique for drawing, I call it double lining. Now, double lining doesn't mean making your lines twice as thick. It means making your lines twice as wonky. What I find is that loads of people, when they're drawing, they're after perfection. They're after that perfectly smooth line. What I want you to do is try and get a perfectly wonky line and make every single line on your page wonky. So we're going to go over all of our lines again. But as we go over it again, you can see that as we go over it again, we're going to make some parts fat, some parts thin. So just go over absolutely everything, go around it all, knowing that it doesn't matter if you make it wonky. If anything, the wonkier, the better. If you've got little gaps, if you see little white gaps in between your wonky lines, colour those in. But just spend a few seconds, just quickly going around everything. So that all that, the whole face, around the hat as well. Hopefully what you can see from mine, look, you can see the wonky lines in mine. All the downstairs bit is all nice and wonky, which is great. Nice thick fat lines with some skinny lines. You see I've not done the hat yet. The hat looks a little bit unfinished now, doesn't it? So let's carry on. Let's just get all of it done. Now the reason wonky lines are great is because, for one, I think well, they are easier to draw. They're definitely easier to draw. Much easier to go for a wonky line than a straight smooth line. But I also think they look better as well. So it's not only easier to draw, but it also looks better. The other great thing about wonky lines is if we make any mistakes in the future, we can cover over any mistakes, little tiny mistakes, by making some parts of the line a little bit fatter to cover over those mistakes. Okay, so definitely, if there's one thing you get from today, it's make everything double wonky. Okay, we've got our face in. Let's go and put some details inside that face now. So before we do that, you see we've got the hat up the top. Now, right at the end of the session, I'm going to come back and I'm going to start putting some patterns and some texture and some things inside the hat. This is an opportunity for you guys. If you want to put something different inside the hat, like a big old star on it or some stripes, some snowballs, whatever you want to put, you can put different things on that hat. If you're struggling with what to put in the hat and any other part of this character, don't panic. Towards the end of the session, I will be putting something in there and you can just copy along with me as well. Okay, right, let's go and get into the ears. We're going to start on the outside. We're going to work inside on this face. So watch this little line. You see the outside edge of the ear just there and there. We're going to go round that, look. Little V shape up there on the inside of the ear. That's our inner ear done. Let's double line it. So actually, first of all, let's put that, you know, that little bit, that little knobbly bit that you get inside your ear. Let's go and just put a little letter C in there for that. Now with that line, the ends of that line want to be tapered, thin. The middle part of that line, we can go wonky. So leave the ends, don't mess around with the ends, but just make the middle part of the line a little bit wonkier. Remember, we're going after those wonky lines. Let's do something similar on the other side. So you've got that knobbly bit and you've got that flick there. Just following the outside edge of the ear, the shape of that, and just bringing it inside. Okay, that looks great. Let's go and put some eyes in. The eyes are just two great big circles. Fill that space. Fill that space with some great big eyes. Look. Don't forget to double line it. And it doesn't matter if one eye is a little bit bigger than the other. Double line it, go wonky. Doesn't matter if the eyes aren't particularly circular either. Just throw them in. If you've messed up your eyes, you can just cover them up with some sunglasses. That would look pretty cool. There's always an option. Now what we're going to do with ours is we're going to put some eyelids in next. Near the top half, put a little line across. Both sides. Once you've got your eyelids in, then we can put some pupils in. Now you've got to decide where your character's looking. If it's looking straight at us, then you want to put the pupils in the middle. Just bring them inside just a little bit. Or you could have it looking that way, or you could have it looking that way. It's totally up to you. The only thing I would suggest is try to have those pupils just hanging off the eyelids. So I'm going to have mine just there. It's going to be looking straight at me. Like that. Now the next lines, it's over to you on what you do with these next lines. Do you want to turn this character into... you can put some eyelashes on this character. Let's do that. I'm going to put eyelashes on this one. Put some little eyelashes in. If you like that, do it on both eyes. If you really like it, do it underneath as well. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to show you on the other eye a different method you can use. So the other way I like to put some little lines around the eyes is, watch this one, look, just a little flick coming from the top, little flick like that. And look at what a different emotion that kind of gives that eye. I'm also going to give it a bottom eyelid. Just because I think it looks funny. That's optional. Don't do it if you don't like it. My job here is to draw things that you're not sure about, and then you can decide whether you want to add them onto your picture or not. Okay, we're good to go. Let's go and put the nose in. So, right, it's time to really concentrate on this next bit. The nose is probably the most complicated part of the whole character. Okay, so really pay attention to this bit, and because it's very easy to make a mistake. Are you ready? What we're going to do is we're going to put in, right in between the eyes, a little U shape like that. There you go. Nose is done. Let's thicken out the bottom part of the nose. Nice and easy, actually, isn't it? And that's what I love about this kind of artwork, is we want to keep it easy, so it's nice and accessible for everybody to be able to draw. So look at that. Look at that mouth. It's like a sausage shape, 2 eyes, 2 circles, and a U shape. That's all it is. Nothing complicated, but full of character. Right, let's go and put some teeth in. Now, this is another option where you get to put in whatever you want to put in on your character. I'm going to put some bouncy teeth in because I like bouncy teeth in a mouth this kind of shape. But if you want to put some sharp teeth in, you can do. If you want to put some square teeth in, wonky teeth, whatever you want. You could put shiny teeth in. Shiny teeth are the easiest bit to do because you just take a little line here, flick it across towards the centre. Take a little line there, flick it across towards the centre. That'll give you some really shiny teeth. What I'm going to do though is go for bouncy teeth. Now, when I'm doing these teeth, I like to start from the middle to make sure they're symmetrical. And let's go and do a little bouncy line all the way across the page. But like I say, you do whatever teeth you want to do in yours. I'm putting a bouncy line across the top. Let's do a bouncy line across the bottom as well. Again, starting in the middle. Bouncy line across the bottom. Look at all those teeth. Now, when it comes to drawing, I like to find all the shortcuts. I like to start and finish my drawings really, really quickly. And so one of the shortcuts we've got here is, technically we need to colour in the back of the mouth, all in black. But that's going to take us a little while. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw in a massive tongue, so I've not got as much colouring in to do, and it's going to make the character look a bit better. So we'll get it done a little bit quicker, okay? So what we'll do is we're going to take a line, 2 lines for the tongue. We're going to take a line from this side, this tooth here, it's going to jump up, and then it's just going to flick across and go down gently, like this, look. Jump up, flick across, like that. Then we're going to repeat that line on the other side. Starting from here, we're going to jump up, we're going to flick across. But when you get to that line, stop, okay? So like this, let's just jump up, flick across. Look at that for a great big tongue. How cool does that look? And because we've got that great big tongue in there, it means we've got less to colour in around the background. So let's go and colour in the back of the mouth now. Of course, I probably should have pointed out as well, if you've done yourself massive teeth, you don't have to put a tongue in. If you've not got much space, just put a smaller tongue in. The goal here is not for you to have exactly the same drawing as me. The goal here is that we're all following the same steps, but we all want to have something slightly different, okay? There we go. If you're a bit slow with colouring in, or if you don't really enjoy colouring in, you can do that a little bit later. There'll be plenty of opportunities after the session to finish off colouring and throwing in loads of colour, or even redrawing this character. So I'll make this tutorial available to you again. So if you want to watch it again, give it another go. The second time you draw something is always better than the first time you draw something. That's why you should always draw things 2 times. Okay, I think that is it for the head. Let's have a little look at the head then. There we go. That's our head. It's a massive head, much bigger than all the others that I've drawn. But that's good. Right, let's go and work down into our next stage, which is to put the body in. Now, the body's really, really easy on this character. Let's move down here. Look. Let's go and put that body in. The first thing we're going to do, let's go and put in just over here, just outside the pencil line, and just over here outside the pencil line. We're going to flick a couple of lines out. 1, 2. Just flick a few little lines out. Don't panic, they're not the arms. This is going to be like a little neck kind of trim. Now, one of my hacks for drawing something that when people look at your artwork and they can be like, oh, I really like that, but I'm not sure why, but I really like that. One of my hacks is to draw repeating things. So you're drawing the same thing in different places, because when somebody's brain sees all those same things in different places, it kind of rewards them for finding little patterns in there. So what we're going to do is see that pattern we've got across the top of the head there, that zigzag. We're going to bring that zigzag in back here. We're also going to bring it in down at the feet as well, and that's going to tie the whole piece together. It's going to make people appreciate your artwork a lot more. So let's join these two lines together with a zigzag. And not forget, double line it. Make it wonky. The only consistent thing about your line work should be how inconsistent it is. So just make sure every single line you've got is wonky and all over the place. That's what we really want. Fat bits and thin bits everywhere, yeah? Right, next bit's nice and easy. You see how we've got this shape down here? Remember, this is just a pencil line. It's just a guide. So if your pencil line is not perfectly in the right place for you, you can tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, a little bit fatter, a little bit thinner. But let's go around the rest like that. And let's double line that as well. Awesome. Right, we're going to throw on a really simple belt. Do you want to do a simple belt or a complicated belt? I reckon you guys are up for a complicated belt. Let's do something a little bit more complicated. We're gonna upgrade from what everybody else has been drawing. Right in the middle here, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a shape like this. I call it a squircle. So it's a square, but it's got like little round edges. So it's like, you know, if a square was starting to turn into a circle, this is what it would look like. So draw a little squircle in there. Then inside that squircle, we're going to draw another squircle. If you've only drawn a small squircle first, then you might want to draw a bigger one. Now you see that inside squircle, that is part of the belt. So we're going to take that line there, and we're going to bring it out either side. So from there, look, to there. Bring it out either side of the top. So that inner squircle, we're using that as our reference point. Do the same down the bottom here. Let's take that, the inner squircle, the bottom line of the inner squircle. Do a line out there and a line out there. Awesome. You guys got the more complicated belt. Well done. Let's throw in some buttons. And then we're finished on the body. Easy, yeah? Okay. Now normally when I'm drawing characters, I avoid things that are difficult to draw. And one of the things I avoid is hands. Hands are really difficult to draw. You know, if you get them wrong, it just looks a little bit weird. So I've developed this really simple way of drawing hands. So I'm going to show you the best way of drawing hands. And all you need to do is remember 7 lines. There's 7 lines and we've drawn an entire hand here. And it's the easiest way I can find. So let's have a go at it, shall we? What we're going to do is over here, we're going to draw a hand. Then over here, we're going to draw a hand. When we've finished our hands, then we'll connect it into the body. Okay? So 7 lines for this hand. Are you ready for this then? First line is the thumb. It's going to look like this. Look. So we're going to start there. We're going to do a little jump out, curve back in, and up like that. So make sure it goes out from there, out, curve back in, and back up there. That's our first line. That's our thumb. Next line we're going to do, or the next 2 lines, is to draw the index finger in. And the index finger is going to grow out the side of the thumb like this. Make it quite fat because you're going to flick a little line there as well. There's 2 lines, yeah? So a little kind of round, kind of like C shape coming out of there towards the top. Flick a little line. That's our index finger. That's 3 lines. You're halfway through drawing a hand. Let's go and put in our next line. And the next 2 lines are nice and easy, actually. You see that shape that we've got there that we've just done for the index finger? We're going to kind of repeat that 2 more times. So 1 here, look, and then 1 here. So just stacking them on top of each other. Don't forget we're going to double line as we go along with this one, so just keep it wonky. Good thing about that is if you've done something a little bit too small, when you do your wonky line, you can make it a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller depending on where you do your wonky bits. 2 more lines to finish this off. Are you ready for the last 2 lines? The penultimate line is going to come from the index finger, from the little finger, just there, the tip of the little finger is going to come out and then it's going to hook up and it's going to point towards the line that we just started from. Okay, so from this little finger, point towards the line we've just started from. Don't touch it, just point towards it. And then our very last line, we're just going to close it all up with a little wrist. The way we do that is a little line starting from here, look, just jumps out all the way up, jumps back in again, and we've got a little wrist. It's like a Mickey Mouse glove. And it's much easier to draw it in that fist shape than anywhere else. And it also looks pretty cool when this is animated. I've seen the animated version of this, and it looks like this elf is really having a great time because its fists are clenched. Right. Make sure everything's double lined on there, and then what we'll do is we'll just do a couple of little lines just to take it into the armpit there. So here we go, look, just 2 lines. I'm not going to put a little bit of a bend in them. 2 lines to join in, like that. Don't forget to double line it. Fab, right. So you've seen how easy it is to draw a hand. We've drawn a whole hand and arm there with 9 lines. We're going to try that again. So you've all committed that to memory, yeah? We're going to try that again on the other side. The only bit that's a little bit weird is we need to mirror everything. So we need to kind of turn it over and do it in the opposite way. So let me show you. I'll go through it again. We'll start off with that thumb. So you remember what we did was we jump up, around, and hook back in. Making sure we're going outwards, away from the character. So jump up, away from the character, hook it back in. There's our first line. Remember our second and third line with the index finger goes out of there and then a little flick across the top. There's our index finger. The next 2 lines are nice and easy. Remember those kind of C shapes, just taking that index finger, doing it 2 more times underneath. 1, 2. And then we bring it home, that little line coming from the tiny finger, pointing towards where you started without touching it. And then a little wrist. Make sure you double line everything you do. Make it nice and wonky. And then when you're ready, bring that wrist into the rest of the body. Something like that. Also, be giving a little bit of thought to the fact that you could put some, towards the end of the session, we could put some little patterns on those arms as well. We can turn them into sleeves. We can put some stripes on them. Feel free to do that now or do it later with me. Totally up to you. Right, we're on the home straight now. Last section of our drawing. How are we getting on? Whoops, it's gone. Thumbs up. Yeah, that's good enough for me. There you go. That's kind of what it should be looking like. Yeah, we're on the home straight. Let's go and put in a couple of legs. So the legs are nice and easy. Fantastic. I love those eyes. Yeah, legs are nice and easy on this one. Let's zoom in again. There we go. Okay. Right. I'll do this leg first. The leg over this side first. And then we'll do the other leg. And it'll be the same as the hands where we just got to mirror it and turn it over. But the legs are a lot easier than the rest. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little tiny curve. This curve is going to be the top of the shoe. So don't go too close to the bottom of your page with this bit. So this little curve, look, like that. And the reason, let me do the next two lines before you try this bit. The reason we go for that kind of width is because then we're going to do two lines going up into there. And you see we've got the little flaps either side, so keep those little flaps, but also try and keep that leg the same thickness as the arms. Ideally, you don't really want the legs to be thinner than the arms. That would be a little bit strange. But then there's nothing wrong with strange, so you go for whatever you want to do. But yeah, little curve down the bottom here. And then take those lines all the way up, join them in up top to the body, making sure we've got those little flaps. Now you remember how we did those little flaps on the hat? And the reason we did those flaps on the hat was to make it look like the hat was wrapped around the head. We're going to do the same with the shoe. We're going to make the shoe look like it's wrapped around the leg, okay? So this time, either side of the legs, starting on the legs, just go round the little flaps and drop down. Starting on the legs, round the little flap, drop down. Same on the other side. Start of the leg, round the little flap, drop down. And straight away you can see how it just looks like that leg is now inside something. And again, the same way as we did the hat, where we put a zigzag to join it all up. Let's do a little zigzag to join it all up for a little bit of trim. And then we'll take this line. So you see the inner leg line. This inner leg line just here. We're going to take that line. It's going to disappear when we get to this little bit of frill that we put in. But then we're going to bring it back and bring it down. So just there, look, bring it back in about there. That's going to become the heel of the shoe. Now we're going to give this character a shoe that kind of spirals across the toe. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to go all the way across for the sole of the shoe, the bottom of the shoe. Then when we get to about this point, do a nice big spiral. Go crazy on this. If you want to do a nice big shoe, that would be great. But let's go across here, look, and then a big spiral. Make it big, leave loads of gaps in between because we're going to come back on ourselves. So a big old spiral, doesn't really matter where you finish, just it doesn't matter how big or how small you go. You could just end when you get to here and just go back on yourself. That's fine, you do whatever you want. Let's start here though, where we've just finished that line. Let's start there and just do a little bit of a U-turn and go all the way back, making this shoe fatter and fatter and fatter until we join here. So it wants to point towards the outside part of the leg just there. So like this, look, getting fatter and fatter and fatter until we get to that point. Okay, let's go and double line that as well. Nice and wonky. Beautiful stuff. Do you want to put a little bell on the end of this one? Let's put a little bell on the end as well. Okay, now it's time to go and flip it over. Let's go and do the other side. So we're going to do that exact same process over on this side. So remember that little curve first. That little curve. Then the two lines that come out of that curve that join into the body. Make sure that you leave some little flaps in there as well. Try and have like a consistent thickness of leg. Nothing wrong with having one leg bigger than the other, but if we can try and keep it relatively similar, that'll be good. From the leg, we're going to drop a little line around the flappy bit. So from the leg, drop a line down. From the leg, drop a line down. Join that together with a little zigzag again. Double line it. And then we can go and put the shoe in. Now, if you remember with the shoe, what we did was we started on the inside of the leg. Take that line from the inside of the leg. It disappears behind the frill and then it comes back out underneath. Couple more lines and then we've finished the main part of our character. Let's go across for the sole of the shoe and then hook it up with a big spiral. And it can be a wonky spiral. Look how wonky mine is. It's like a series of straight lines rather than a curve. That always looks pretty cool as well. Do that kind of thing. Take that line, bring it all the way back home. Just making that shoe a little bit thicker as you go. Add a little bell and let's double line it. There we go. Right, let's have a little look. We're on the home straight. There's just one more thing left to do. But let me show you what yours. Hopefully yours is looking a little bit like that. You should be at about that kind of stage. Yeah. If not, don't panic. It's okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's looking good. Right. We'll have a proper look at everyone's artwork in a minute if that's cool. So, teachers, prepare to put your cameras on in a few seconds or in about 2 minutes. If that's okay, so I can have a look at your artwork. There's no rush. What I'm going to do, though, for the next few seconds is we're going to personalize our artwork. I'm very quickly going to start at the top, going to work my way down. And what I want you to do is just try and decorate every single part of this. Keep all the decorations on the inside of the character. Try not to do anything on the outside of the character because it's going to make it easier for us to animate it. I'm going to start at the top, work my way down. Feel free to copy me or feel free to do your own thing. Don't forget, it's all about being individual and being unique as an artist. So don't try and copy if you've got some ideas. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to start at the top. First thing I'm going to do, let me just zoom out a bit so I can turn this into a bell. Look, little circle in the middle, little line out. Makes it look a little bit more like a bell. I'm going to put a little star in the middle of mine. So maybe you want to pencil out a star. Maybe you want to draw it in straight away. I'm going to put a star on my hat. I'm going to make it shine with a few little lines. Down here in the hat piece, so we're going to put some trim in there. I'm just going to put some little circles in. Nothing complicated in there. Just some little circles. Let's get down into the face. In fact, just in the hat, let's just flick a few little lines there. Just a little crease in there. Let's get down into the face though. One of the things I like to do in the face is I like to put little wrinkles and things in. Little wrinkles and spots. So let's go and put some spots in. We've already got wrinkles actually around the outside edge of the mouth, so I don't think we necessarily need to put that in. But if you wanted to, you could put little wrinkles under the eyes. Look. This elf looks like it's been working really hard, ready for Christmas. If you've got a thin enough pen, you might want to put some little bumps on the tongue. Look. See how they look like taste buds on the tongue? Awesome stuff. Let's move down a little bit further. Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely great. Like I say, I think the most important thing is that everybody in the classroom sees each other's artwork and we show off that way. But if I can see it as well, that'd be great. Right, let's go down here. We're just going to do a little bit more. Let's quickly. Well done. That's looking great. Let's put some more little decorative bits in here. into the arms. You can put some sleeves on the arms. Look, watch this. We'll put some stripes there. Double bounce in there. Little frill there, little frill there. Look at how that looks like a sleeve. Wow. That's looking good. Love the detail in the hat there. Well done. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I love to see. Oh, yeah. Awesome with the teeth. Right, keep on decorating your stuff as I'm looking at everybody's artwork. These are brilliant. Um, put some little stripes in here and there, just to what it does is it gives you something to colour in after the session finishes. Brilliant stuff. Love the big hat there. Yeah, fabulous. Expression on that one's face was great. Oh, we've got some colouring in done. That one looks angry. Brilliant. Let's move down into these shoes. Put some little laces in, like a little double loop, little lines, double loop. We're on the last couple of minutes. Oh, looks like I've lost Miss Guest. Camera's frozen. Hopefully we're still going. There we go. That is what your finished piece should look like. No, sorry, you're frozen completely. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you're kind of back in and out now. Right, we've got so yeah. Finish off. Decorate your character. That's the main thing to do. And then when you're ready, what I would really like you to do is to hold your artwork up, show everyone in the class. Hello. Hold up your artwork. Let's have a look. Fantastic. Love the hair. Well done. That's good. Nice hat. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Oh, well done, you. I love the fact that you've not used black as well. Oh, none of you use black. Look at the legs on that one. Nice long legs. Well done. This is great. Just getting a little tour of all the classrooms. Yeah, whilst I'm having a little look around, don't forget to hold up your artwork to everybody else. Let everybody else see what you've been drawing. Whilst you're doing that, look at everybody else's drawings as well. Get inspired by what other people have been doing. Art's a team sport. You can learn a lot more by drawing with other people rather than just drawing on your own all the time. Next class, let's have a look. Awesome. Look at the fat line work on there. That's amazing. Big eyebrows as well. Love the details in the hat on that one. Well done. Yeah, these are looking great. Look at those ears. Insane ears. What's going on there? We need to finish off the head on that one. The hands look great. Well done on the hands. Oh, we've even got some background on that one. Awesome. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as well with the way the hands are positioned because they look like they're gripping something. You could put a candy cane in, and I just spotted somebody put a candy cane in. Well done, you. Yeah, nice stars in the background. Excellent. We've got some drips coming off of it as well. This is looking brilliant. Lovely stuff. Well done, you. Nice. Wow, look at that one. That's insane. These look brilliant. I can't wait to see these coloured in. Make sure you get these coloured in as well, yeah? And don't go traditional with your colours. There's nothing wrong with colouring them in green and purple. Go a bit crazy with it, yeah? How we doing? We got any more to see? We're on our last 2 minutes. On our last 2 minutes, that's looking great. It's a bit choppy. That's looking great. Love that. Well done. Any more? Hold it up. Hold it up. Bit further back. Yeah, that's awesome. I love the mouth. Nice work on the mouth, mate. Well done. Miss Guest, run. You've got less than 2 minutes, Miss Guest. Less than 2 minutes. We're going to get chucked out any second now. Less than a minute left. Let's have a look. If I don't get to see it, please tag me in any social media posts. It'd be great to see your artwork. Let's have a look. Quickly, hold it up. Hold them up. Hold them up. Oh, look at these. They're all in colour as well. Excellent stuff. Well done. That's looking great. Love the hat details. How you getting on? That's tiny. Brilliant stuff. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, these are brilliant. Look at that. That's fantastic. Yeah, love that. We've got some red going on in there as well. Awesome stuff. Well done, everybody. These are looking fantastic. Oh, look at that. I love the fact he's looking over to the side. If he's looking over to the side, draw something that he's looking at, yeah? Hey, well done. That's looking great. We got a bogey coming out of the nose on that one. Brilliant. Excellent work on the tongue and the eyes there. Lovely. Wow, that's looking fantastic. Nice. Look at the ears. Yeah, fabulous. What else have we got? Yeah, the teeth on that look great. Yeah, well done, everybody. Just before we get kicked out as well. Nice one. Thanks very much for taking part, everybody. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Well done. Give yourself a round of applause, and I'll see you all next time, okay? Take care. Keep on doodling. See you later, everyone. Bye bye.